Good morning, Judy here from Thistledew Creations, and I'm kind of stuck on St. Patty's Day stuff. I thought I'd decorate another envelope for Happy Mail. I don't have an intended recipient yet. I just thought it'd be good to have one made up anytime in the next couple weeks. If I want to send something off to someone with an Irish theme, I'll have it ready. So I'm going to start with this Celtic link, I guess you'd call it, or not. And just very softly stencil this design. I've been kind of struggling to decide what to do today, so since I already have Irish stuff out on the desk, I'm just going to keep at it, get my videos done for the rest of first half of March, and then we'll do, as well as some inking, I'll put another one of these over here just sort of in a random position. We'll do some stamping, and then we'll do just a little bit of collaging. It's going to be probably sent in the mail, so I don't want to put too much on it. It's what I have done quite a few collaged envelopes and sent them in the mail, but it is actually easier to mail something that's not got a bunch of stuff stuck all over it. You're always worried about it getting caught in a machine or something. I'm just using Vintage Photo and my blending brush. I am getting a couple of splotches, but I'm not too worried about it. And then we'll use either the green or the brown. Let's use some green and ink some of these designs. Where's my... that thing. Where's that thing? We'll do a couple of these. I want to do something like a design in the corner. I could stamp a couple things at once, like so. Like that and that. Do them both green. Do this green. I'll just do them both green. Put this in this corner. And then let's do that again down in the other corner, or maybe on the back side. Put it down here. Maybe a little too symmetrical, but we'll do it anyway. And then to do it on the back, I'm gonna leave the green ink that's left, and I'm just going to shade in a little bit of the ground espresso, just sort of dabbing it on. I'm going to put that back here and see how that looks. Yeah, so you got a little bit of green and a little bit of brown in that. That looks pretty cool. And then I'll ink it all again in green. And do that again. Just kind of touching it in the middle of the stamp here. And I'll do the same thing here, just kind of randomly touching the corner of the pad into the green inked stamp. And do that up here. Yeah, I like the way that looks. Very cool. So let's do that idea with different stamps again on the front. So I don't know how I will address this. I'll probably have to leave a blank spot for some stamps. And then I need somewhere to write an address. So I can still decorate up in here, and then I can put the stamps over here. So let's do this Celtic knot, and let's do more of that two-tone effect. I think that was pretty cool. So we'll get the green. And I'm kind of pressing it more on the outer edges. And then the ground espresso just kind of in the middle. Let's see if it'll do another one. Not as dark, but it does another one. Okay, so that's a good amount of stamping. And then let's do just a little bit of collaging. I could collage a bit on the back too. There's not much room left here. I like to put music. And I like it to be inked with the espresso, so it's nice and dark. It almost looks like a scorched edge, not just an aged edge. Like it's been saved from burning. That kind of there, and we're going to end up putting an address label there likely. I always like to give this tacky glue around the edges so that it doesn't end up lifting up in transit. And then a little bit of doily is always good. And I think this time I'm going to use some white. I've been using green doily all morning, but I think I'll use some white and just ink the edge. I don't even need the darker ink for that. I can use the Vintage Photo. Actually, I'll just see if I can lift up this bottom edge and tuck it under about there. And then have it kind of there. And then I don't really have a very plain label that I can use to put the address on. So why don't I put a plain tag that the address could go on? Something like that. That's a different way to do it. Give it a good inking, again with the darker ink. This is a coffee dyed tag, probably just a white one from the dollar store and then coffee dyed. Got it in a swap. I'm going to use the grungy edge out. And I will put glue stick on the back just to give it an all over bit of glue. And then I'll put the tacky glue around the outside so that it doesn't lift up, hopefully. Actually, my son's birthday is in March, and maybe this will be what I'll send his birthday card in. That's going to need to be weighted down so it doesn't lift up. I can put I'll commit to it. Put his address right on there. I'll fill this up with some craft supplies for him. And then I can put return address just here. And usually I like to do like mum, mum, mummy. And then I'll put my return address. He gets a kick out of that. And I write weird names. He has two middle names, Carson John Douglas. And then when he was real little, I called him Snickerdoodle. So sometimes I'll write right on his envelope, Carson John Douglas Snickerdoodle McLaren. He gets it, he kind of shakes his head, laughs. I have to give him a reason to laugh. I'm going to put some stitching around the edges of this too. This one is kind of like a couple of different sizes of zigzag. I think I'll do that in black. See that? Looks like they changed the stitch on the machine as they were sewing, or it skipped. And because it's not perfect, it's easier to like continue it on. And then I'll do more of it over here. And then a little bit here. And a little bit here. This won't be as dark. I think he'll be happy to receive happy mail in that envelope. So I'll do an assortment of spring papers and different textures. They've been doing craft nights as well, so I'm sure they'll appreciate that. Let's do a couple more of these. I really like that effect with the two colors. And one of them got covered up, so I'll do another one over here. Even though that's where I'm probably going to put the postage. I could put the postage up there. Green. And then the ground espresso in the center. I'm just sort of dabbing it with the corner of it right in the middle. Put another one of those right here. And then just for fun, we'll do another one over here. It won't be as dark. do that again. And then there's a technique that I've been meaning to try. There's absolutely no reason in the world why I shouldn't have already tried this technique, but for some reason I haven't. And that is doing splatters. So I know that means getting out more stuff, but all I'm gonna do is gold. So I just need my gold paint. And then I'll have to put this down on top of something. Like this. Paint box. Sorry. And then maybe the fan brush. I'm not sure which brush. Either bronze, I think maybe the bronze will be the color I'll use. And I kept this thing basically empty for this. Few things just need to be put away. Start taking over your space pretty fast. A little bit of water. And then I think this small fan brush will do. And I want to work up some of this gold. It's bronze. It's called bronze. And let me just try it on something else before I try it on that. Let's try it on this. This is something I've been meaning to play with and I haven't done it yet. Is just this woven paper background that I did when I was at my dad's. I think I just want a little more water just so that it will splatter. And then you just tap your brush, holding it kind of loose and tapping it. Ooh, I'm really getting some good splatters there. Mostly fairly even because my brush has got fairly tiny ends. So it's given me some light bronze splatter. So let's go ahead and do that on here. Get this wet again. Get a fair bit of the color. And then just hold it lightly and tap it with the other hand. Let it have a little bounce. Oh, I think everything's getting splatters from now on. I'm gonna have to make a splatter box so that I can have a place that doesn't matter if it gets overspray on it. Just like the lid of a pop case or something, pop can case. And that'll dry fairly quickly too. Probably getting it all over my glasses as well. I'm sure it's not just going the one direction. Very cool. So like I said, from now on, everything's getting splatters. Just do some corners with the brush. Just kind of use it up. Just little brush strokes here and there with that. Looks pretty cool too. Very neat. Just kind of a crosshatch effect. I'm gonna have to get that in the mail to him on Monday. So I'll put together a little package for him. Maybe I'll show packing it up. I want to do something with this too. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that little session of stamping and stenciling and collaging and splattering. It's so much fun to just mix up all these different techniques and make something pretty. So now I think that's the tangent I'm going to go on, is doing some splattering and maybe just decorating some coffee dyed papers. Love, love, love it. So if you liked it, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Most of all, have a great day.